Hey guys, welcome to another video. This is Samurai, and today we are going to be unlocking Alexander the Great. So, yeah, let's dive on it. And actually, I don't know if I'm actually going to unlock him right away, because when you summon him, you get the Writers of History bundle. Now, because I'm not a big spender, I have to time my spending wisely. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to, get enough sculptures to be able to summon him, but I will not be summoning him today, so that come time when I do have enough money to be able to acquire the Writers of History bundle, which even though it's only $5, some people, you gotta manage your money wisely. I'll be able to get that and get 10 sculptures, which I will actually end up using on Richard the First, because even though I do like Alex, I just think that Richard would be a very much more optimal pick, as he is the best 5-1-1-1 in the game. But, so we're gonna do a couple wheel spins, and, we're going to, click on this right now, because we're also doing, Mightiest Governor, which at the end of this video we're also going to do 5 key unlocks, and I'm also going to talk about, why I think Alex is definitely still a good pickup, regardless of whether or not, you, should or shouldn't get him, which, personally, I mean, you should try to get every, governor, well, not every governor, every governor should try to get every champion that they can possible. I would say the mightiest governor is, I think, where I was actually going with this. Events are definitely harder to get. Some legendaries, some legendary commanders, because mostly the legendary commanders that come out of Mightiest Governor are for the big spenders, unless you can get them off the wheel, which is why, when you got Mightiest Governor and you got Julius that comes out of a gold key, it's really not that much of a problem, other than, I'd say, at the beginning stages of the game, where if somebody pulls Julius from a gold key and then, wins Mightiest Governor or gets a high placement, then yeah, it's definitely going to help out the other alliance at the early stage of the game. But later on, it's not really going to matter all that much. But, so let's do some wheel spins. And we're actually going to get our free wheel spin, and I do actually, I just want you guys to know that I already do have, I believe it's 7 sculptures. Ooh. Oh, yawning. Oh, excuse me. Nope, I actually have 8. So I only need 2 sculptures of him, so let's see what we can do with the free wheel spin. It'd be funny if we hit the 8 spot. Nope, but we did get gold, and gold is still just as good, if not anything. And we're going to use our 50% off spin and get some 8-hour training speed ups. I like those a lot anyway, because, well, during certain challenges, of course, for Mightiest Governor and other things in the near future, the training speed ups definitely help out. So now we're going to do a 5 spin, and I do have actually a bunch of gems saved up, enough to definitely do a 5 spin. Alright. Because I really want to show you guys 5 spin. I'm hoping for an 8 spot, but Definitely Starlight Sculpture. And more wood. Definitely not a spin that I'm actually really even happy about. I do like that one universal legendary sculpture, as I'm going to put that on Richard, but I at least want to try and unlock Alex. So, we're going to go back in, and we're going to get more gems. And I think this will probably end up being the last. You know what? I can't even do. Oh, jeez. I can't even do a 5-spin until I get a few more gems. So, the only way right now, actually, to get a few more gems is to complete the barbarian killing for Mightiest Governor event. So, in order to increase my point gain, I'm just going to start pairing up commanders really quickly. I don't even care because they're so high up for me right now. And actually, I'm also going to do, I have 40 sculptures of Athelflaed, so I'm also going to show a spot that I definitely want the sculptures to hit on Athelflaed, which I can do right after I get her pairing no Sarka. I know. You want to go out, but no. You know what? I'll do that. I'll do that. Why not? Doesn't really bother me that much. And I did trash my Caesar. I don't know if I mentioned. I know I mentioned that in my last video, but I definitely want to tell people if you're going to level up your commander, make sure the active skill is leveled up first, because the first few mistakes I made with my account was I got Caesar, which I was super excited about. Then I had enough sculptures to put into a legendary commander like Caesar, and after I had all his skills, I committed those sculptures already, and those are just sculptures lost now. So that's like, in my mind, that's a waste of time, a waste of value, and it was a pretty bad mistake on my part, but there's nothing I can do about it now except, move forward with the knowledge I currently have and just make sure that every time I get a new commander, I level up the first skill. So, we are going to go and put Boudica, and even though he's not at 5, and he's only at 3, just having his first skill at 3, I mean, I still got 1,000 healing, so, and like 3 other abilities off of Richard the First, so I'm still gonna pair him. And we're gonna go attack this barbarian, this level 15 barbarian, and I'm gonna see if I can try to get another 25 to spawn somewhere, so I can get all those points. That's pretty far. So we'll hit the 15, and then we'll hit a 20. I don't even know if they're gonna get a chance to fight. Alright. How many points off am I? Because I only need 100 gems, which, quite frankly, I think is pretty funny. If I defeat 30 more, I can get another gold key. But, yeah, no, definitely just remember to max the first skill, and I'm getting some pretty bad, I got some pretty bad, spins for Alex so far. I haven't even landed on him yet, which, if I get the 5 spot, I'll get 5 sculptures of him no matter what. So, it doesn't really bother me all that much. I was wondering why Minamoto was moving so fast. Forgot I put all calves on him, so he's moving like a race car. But, yeah, either way I'll be able to unlock him after I do my 5 spin. But from there I'm going to wait and just wait to summon him, so that way I can make the most of, the money that I'm going to be putting down for the Writers of History bundle. Also, KVK in our kingdom, or well, in the other kingdoms that are competing against us, has been going on for about a day now, and I haven't really looked into it, but maybe after we defeat some barbs and get our 5 spin going, I'll take a peek. Now I see that that's nope. But I did forget that when you use multiple armies and then defeat an army, it definitely affects how many barbs you defeated in the game, because each army gets a separate report. So sending out multiple armies not only helps with defeating the level of barb quicker, but it also makes it so that challenges like this will say, oh, you defeated 3 because you've sent 3 armies, and yeah, it just makes the challenge go by faster rather than doing 1 army at a time. And yeah, where's it going with this? There we go. So I figure I probably need that. Oh, I feel like I got enough points off of that, which I probably did. Which I did. So now I have enough for my 5 spin. But honestly, if I'm this far in, I might as well just get to 30, get that gold key, and then we'll do 5 gold key unlocks. So let's go defeat more barbarians real quick. And by the way, if you think any of the pairings that I'm using are pretty, well, not that good, I mean, let me know. And in the future, I'll make sure to pair differently. Typically, when I actually use Athelflaed, I had originally thought about using Richard because he does have a slow, and if you expertise Athelflaed, she does 20%. Is it 20%? I think it's 20%. She does 20% plus more damage to enemies who have been slowed. So using her, who also has a slow, somewhere. Wait. Okay, so she gets a 10% chance to reduce march speed, whereas if you pair with Richard, he automatically reduces march speed. So maybe Richard has to be the primary, so that when her skill hits, yeah, I think that's how that would have to work. So it would be a Richard primary and then a debuffing Athelflaed, which I think could work. The only thing is I really do like Athelflaed. with the leadership skill, because, well, when you use the leadership skill in Athelflaed, she gets more, essentially. Like, how do I put it? She gets more health if you're using healing herbs. I believe it is. Is that what that is? Yeah, it is. So it'll go from 3 to 6 to 9. So ultimately, I also like the fact that she has a lot of rage gen from Rejuvenate, and Elixir helps too, because it enhances healing effects received by 6%, and then if you go up to this tree, it'll be 9% and 9%, because you go healing herbs and Elixir, which is 18%, and then if you go down to Richard, and I'm just kind of putting this as a quick little blurb in the video, if you do have Athelflaed and Richard, which pretty much a lot of people should have. I'm kind of a little late to the party, but that's fine. His healing enhancement at 5 is 30%. So the primary commander uses the talents from the talent tree. So if you have this already maxed, it's 30% plus 18%. You do the math, that's 48% of healing enhancement. And that is quite a lot. So it kind of makes up, I think, the difference for Athelflaed not having a heal. The only thing that really sucks is that unless something else is slowing, which this has a 10% chance to reduce movement speed of enemy cavalry by 25% and movement speed of other troops by 15%. So either way, it's 50% and 30%. It's only a 10% prop. So based off of that 10%, that would only lead up to dealing an extra 20% damage to enemies who have been slowed. Which, I mean, 10% out of so many turns can be really good, but, you know, you get a definite guaranteed slow every time Richard hits, I believe. Because I don't think it's based off of chance. I'm definitely 100% sure it's based off of his skill. So, yeah. Because, so it adds a debuff of a maximum, and then it reduces damage dealt by 20% and march speed by 9% for 2 seconds. So ultimately you heal, take less damage, and you reduce their march speed. So using him first would help proc her skill of this, adding an extra 20% damage to enemies who have been slowed. So I think you could use both in both ways. I just think it's kind of like how you want to play it out. Like, if you're going open field and you're going more of the infantry route, which is technically how you play it, I guess Athelflaed would be better. Because if you got multiple armies fighting you, you could debuff all of them, and she's going to hit really hard on the comeback once his active skill procs. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a theory test. People would probably have to play around with it a little more. I'm pretty sure this is already a pairing, but as to which one's really better, I would say, you know, okay, if you put Athelflaed as a primary, you get healing herbs and elixir. That's an extra 18% healing. If you go the other route, you get an automatic march speed reduction proc, and she's going to automatically do 20% extra damage every active skill. So, I like it. And in hindsight, it already reduces damage dealt to you from Richard. So I feel like maybe that's more than enough reason to say that you don't really need her as the primary. Even though you'll get that extra 18% healing, which 18% is actually a lot. So that's what makes me question whether, well, okay, 20% guaranteed extra attack damage because they're automatically going to get slowed, or 18% extra healing. That's what's got me fighting what's better. Now, granted, one gives you 2% more, which 2% in this game is actually a lot, but one makes it so you're on the field more, and one makes it so you're doing more damage. So I guess it's a preference of what you think you need at that time. It's more of an optimal decision-making process. Like, do I need to be on the field more, or do I need to deal a lot of damage to get a lot of targets off the field quicker? Now, also, having Athelflaed as the primary will give you 150 extra rage regeneration. So, I mean, it's kind of an upside-downside scenario, but I definitely would say you could try it both ways, and either way, whatever tickles your fancy, it's still gonna work. It is probably one of the I wouldn't say best, but definitely a great pairing outside of doing a Richard Charles pairing. So yeah, we're also going to actually upgrade a skill, and I'm hoping that, you know, it really lands on this one. But I do like the rallied army capacity bonus as well. And this one I do like because when I'm doing Marauders in the pre-KVK event, I definitely like being able to attack multiple Marauders if they're both next to each other and do a lot of damage. And just not really have to worry about all the damage that I'm doing. But let's see where this lands. Okay, cool. So, now, my counterattack against my troops is reduced. So this also has a damage reduction. So, I guess I would say that either way, you get 2 damage reductions as well. Because one's counterattack damage reduction, if you were to do this as a pairing, and the other one is just straight damage reduction. So, one's damage reduction, one's on the counterattack. So, it just makes their counterattack that much less. That's fine with me. And then, actually, this one also makes it so their counterattack damage is also reduced again. So yeah, no, I would definitely say this is a really, really optimal pair based on their skills. If you're not using that combo already, you should probably try it out because you're going to get a variety of AoE hits with a lot of damage outburst or healing, depending on what you're doing, because the way the skills proc will determine if you're using the talent tree more or if you're going to use it for the active skill proc more. I think that's really what I wanted to say, but I was having a hard time saying it. Also, I don't know what this is, but oh yeah, okay. Need to collect my points. And now that I have my 100 for 3,600, we're going to do our final 5 spin and be able to get the 5 sculptures of Alexander the Great. Okay, building speed up. Another one. Not liking this so far. Oh, okay, good. We got one. Okay, well, wasn't the greatest spin, but hey, whatever. And we got 5 sculptures, which means we can unlock him. Did I really like those spins? Not that much. I was hoping to get more 1 spins for him, but I'll take what I can get. I mean, 25 because I'm hoping I can get a few more gems before he goes away. Yeah, I want to see if I can get to 25 and get a few more legendary universal sculptures beforehand. But outside of that, we can now unlock him, which we're going to hold out on. His skills, he does also pair very well with Richard, as they both have the infantry tree. And I think you would use Alex as the primary, I believe. But, yeah, no, it's going to be a while before we will end up actually getting Alex leveled up to where he needs to be, because we first got to get Richard up, since he's the best 5-1-1-1 in the game, and I really just want to make sure that he's unlocked first so that I'm not struggling with other challenges in the future, because I do like doing Shadow Legion. When that event comes around, that's one of my bigger events that I like making sure is accomplished, and everything. So we'll unlock him later on, but until next time, guys. Oh wait, nope, this is not an until next time, guys, because I totally forgot. I got to do my 5-key promise. I did say I was going to unlock 5 chests today, and actually I'll throw in a couple silver. Why not? So yeah, no, we'll do like 3 silver just to start out, just to get the key game warmed up. Ooh, okay. 1 Osmond. I mean, from silver, that's not bad. Now we'll throw an extra 1 in there. Why not? Maybe an extra 2. Alright, cool. Alright. 5, here we go. 2 more Osmond. Ooh, okay, 2 Charles. I'll take it. My Charles is already at 4. So, I'm definitely excited, because once I get him to 5, I might only bring him up a little bit, because I want to max his second skill and then bring him to 1-1-1, so that way he's a 5-5-1-1 Charles. But yeah, no, it's definite. Oh, no way, a full Charles. That is lucky. That's really lucky. Okay, this is the greatest chest opening possible, because I believe that I now have enough sculptures to unlock him to 5, which, by the way, I think this will probably be the best chest opening I will ever have in my entire video of like content. I don't think there will probably ever be another video where I unlock 2 Charles, then a full Charles, and then 2 more Charles next to him to give me the 5 unlock that I'm looking for, because that's just improbable. Like, I believe the ratio or the percentage, it's 0.5. It is 0.586 for a full commander, and then it's some other percentage for the rest. So that's just nuts. And then we got a full Scipio, a Sun Tzu, a Boudica, and let's finish it up with another set, and 5 for Herman. Honestly, you know what? I'm going to throw a bonus key in there just because we got a lucky pull. So why not? Why not? More Boudica? Wow. Okay. Commander's going round. Commander's going round. What a way to end the video. You know what? Nah, we'll do one more. I'm feeling a little lucky, so why not? And Ishida Mitsunari. Got 2 of him. Cool. Alright, well, until next time, guys, that was probably the best pull ever. So on top of being able to unlock Alex soon, We also just got enough sculptures to throw onto Charles Martel and bring him to 5. I thought I was going to have to use a universal sculpture. Because I thought maybe I'd get enough sculptures to, how you say, bring him to 14 maybe. I was hoping I'd get lucky. And then in the back of my head, I was actually kind of praying that I'd get a 10 pull, which I did. So now I have him at 5, which I can't even be mad. This is great. So we now have a 5, and I'll level him up later. And then Richard will be on his way as well. We're going to dump this one sculpture onto him, just because. But yeah, no. Honestly, I think this is the end of the video. It's a 31-minute long video. So thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for liking and subscribing if you have. If you haven't, please do. And until next time, guys, you have a nice day. Peace out.